Hey everyone, welcome back to the table. What we've got is scenario 2 of Heroes of Stalingrad. This is the not one step back. What we're going to do is have the Russian troops over here, which is the setup deployment. The German player is over here, and we're trying to get to this middle portion. Earlier I determined I rolled, and let me see if I remember. Yeah, initiative. Player with initiative deploys. It just said determine initiative. So I did a roll off and Germans won. Now you can't quite see the tracker because of the camera viewing spot, but Germans have the initiative. I'm going to keep track over here. This has got 6 turns, and I'll play the Germans, and then obviously I'm playing both sides. But what I do for the Russian player is, in determining orders, is I'm just going to put their order tokens face down and kind of mix it up. So I'm not sure which is the bluff and which is the sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I'll do is just kind of assign to the frontline folks. That's, not ideal, because with a face-to-face opponent, you'd have some choices there. Maybe you want to move a back unit up or something like that. So not ideal, but we'll move it that way. I will do one thing though, is initially I won't put an order token on the 2 machine gun units. There's a DP-28 team and then the MG-1910 team, only because they can move in the supply phase, and that's sometimes more advantageous in the first turn because it lets you move them for free, and then they can deploy. So we'll probably put order tokens on other stuff. Okay, now as far as order tokens go, there are a lot more Russian units than I have order tokens. So only 3 of these order tokens are going to be viable. So there's going to be a lot of troops moving in the supply phase. I have a building here and a building here. So, we want to get to this point here. So I'm going to move some folks into the building so possibly they can get some cover bonuses. Now, with this rule set, this is going to be my first time using the offset building rules, which means I'll probably get that wrong, which is fine. But basically what offset is just kind of, you have a incomplete squares, and you're kind of, depending on where walls are, you're adjacent, like I'm adjacent here, but like on a wall here, so I probably would, have line of sight blocked there. When you move, you move out to the full square. So I'll have the little rule chart with me because I'll probably get that wrong. I'm the type of person where I learn best if someone shows me and teaches me the rule versus trying to just read it strictly off the card. Luckily, there are some folks that are watching the rules with me that are pointing out my mistakes. So hopefully you all can learn from my mistakes watching this video. All right, now with that, the German deployment, I do have a scout unit that I've gone ahead, used their recon ability to put them forward into the building so that they have an overwatch. The nice thing about being deployed and they're on the hidden side is they can't be targeted by things. They're just kind of invisible. But there would be some rules for uncovering them, but they're in cover right now, so hopefully they can just kind of sit there, and if somebody comes up, they can attack it. I also have a vehicle. Now, this scenario here, even though it has a vehicle, the vehicle rules for light vehicles, they pretty much play just like infantry. If you had a hard vehicle like a tank, then there would be rules for hitting it and then individual component hits. But with this, basically, if you hit it and you destroy it, one hit, it'll destroy it, and that will flip it to the wreck side, and then it just kind of acts as potential cover, so real easy to bring the vehicle in. So scenario 2 is just a nice progression of the rules. Also, I have grenades. Grenades have this little, the light's covering it, but they have a distance of 2, but they have these dots. That means they go on the inner spaces. So if I'm here and I got a range of 2, 1, 2 essentially, then I attack here, and the attack stats for the grenade are on the back of the grenade. The lighting doesn't let me hold this up here very well, so hopefully you can read that. But +2 against infantry, +2 against light vehicles, and then they don't do any damage against heavy vehicles. And then here's the distance marker with the dots Sorry if that's not focusing very good for you. If I put it down here in the light, it's probably too small. So we've got some grenades to use. And then there's some rules with the buildings here as well. Again, mostly is if there's walls blocking, it doesn't hurt anything in here. But if there's an open spot in the building, and it could hurt in there, you take the lowest defense value of the building, because sometimes there's multi-level buildings, or like part of the building's destroyed, part of it's not destroyed. So the not destroyed part of the building, you know, will absorb the effects of the grenade, like if it landed outside. But because it got destroyed wall, they'd get like a +2 defense. So anyway, I'm going to try and get some of these correct. It would be great if I had someone who knew the rules better than I did. I just don't have that with me today. Alright, so probably last thing to do is draw the cards. Each player is going to have 3 cards, it says. We're going to be managing up to 3 cards. So I'm going to draw for the Russians first. So they get precision. Play after scattering roll for indirect fire. Well, I could say, since we're not using indirect fire, I could probably just set that aside and we'll draw one we can use. So if I get something for a vehicle or something I can't use, I'll just draw a different one. High command. Play at the start of the orders phase. With this turn, you have an additional special order token. Okay, so we'll keep that. I'll have to dig that out of the bag. In fact, let me grab that now in case I use it. Special order token right there. What is the special order token? I haven't used that in a while. Special order token. I could pause, I suppose. But from what I remember, it's an order token you can put on somebody and then you can use it at any time. Let me see. Oh, found it. Special order tokens can be obtained with the high command action card, the battle plan order option, or a special ability. Special order tokens can be activated before or after any other order token, which means they can take precedence and be played as order number 0. However, they cannot interrupt an ongoing activation. If several players want to activate special order tokens at the same time, the player has the initiative, reveals and plays his special order first. So from what I'm reading there is can be activated before or after any other order token. So if I play after, like I guess I could activate somebody and then play the special order token person, or play them before I do my number 1, sounds like. So it kind of gives you like 2 people in a row. That's cool, so we'll keep that. Then we have surprise, play before the movement action. One of your infantry units. Okay, your unit can enter or leave a building by a window, unless that would move them in or out of an elevated position. Oh, okay. And there's a shot there. I guess that's +1 to shooting. They come through, surprise, go through window, and +1 to shoot. That's nice. And then finally for the Russians, second chance. Play this card to alter the result of a die roll, re-roll, or make someone re-roll all dice for a given result and apply the new result instead. Ooh, all dice. So if you did an assault, you could re-roll both dice. I don't know if you could see the card from there. Hopefully. So that's the 3 for the Russians. Now, I just got to remember that I have them. Generally, when I'm just focused on this, I sometimes forget that I've got cards. Okay, so the German player. Dynamic. Played during the activation phase. You can move one of your order tokens onto a unit that doesn't have one and has not yet acted this turn. Okay, that's cool. Second chance, same thing. Get to re-roll dice or make your opponent re-roll. Nice. Schnell. Play before activating one of your units. 2 units situated 1 or 2 squares from one of your officers can immediately move 2 squares. Either of those units are free to act in this phase if they still have an order token. Oh, cool. So we can move 2 units. Alright, so we get to, that's a little blitzkrieg-y. Alright, well, that's about all there is to do, and now we just start playing. Now remember, German player has the initiative, so they'll act first, but we gotta play some order tokens. Now I'm going to place order tokens here on the Russians. Remember, I'm going to skip the MG team because we're going to let them move in the supply phase and then deploy. So all of these folks will move, and then everybody else here will move in the supply phase. Now the German player, though, has some choices to make. Yeah, I'm going to hold off on that special order that the Russians picked up. Just because I think that might come in more handy a little bit later. So we'll hold on to that. Then the German player, in a way, I probably don't even need the bluff marker for the German player. I'm just going to set that aside because it's just me, and I've only got 3. You know, the bluff marker is great for when you're doing a face-to-face opponent, and I don't have a face-to-face opponent today. So I'm just going to keep my 3 order markers for the German player and focus on those. And I'm going to put those face up. There's no need, again, for me to put them hidden. I'm only doing the Russian player hidden because that's kind of the fog of war aspect of the artificial intelligence, you know. Not that there's an artificial intelligence system. I'm just saying that would just give me a little randomness against the opponent. But for me, we're going to, same thing. I'm not going to move the MG34 team with a token. I'm going to let them move in the supply phase. I've actually got 2 MG34 teams. So I will just put my active token. Oh, and the Jeep. I am going to put the Jeep, though, as number 1. And we're going to move a fire group. And we're going to move a fire group. I don't really want them in the open. I guess I should have deployed them right back there because it's got the building blocking line of sight. But I've got them out in the open. So maybe they can come up and fire at stuff. Okay, so German player has initiative. Now I should have placed order tokens with the German player first. However, it's just me, so it really doesn't matter. You know, like I would have played them first and then the Russians, but solo. Solo! Alright, I have 6 movement points with this little Jeep here. 1, 2, 3. Again, I want to use them as kind of covering. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he can move and fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this would be the long range. If I had not moved up 1 more, that would have given a -2 penalty to shooting for range. As it is, with the little Jeep here, I have a -2 firing. And I also have a couple of other abilities. There's suppressive firing, and there's the machine gun fire, which means I could split my fire among multiple units. But I think this corner is blocking line of sight to him. So I'm just going to put all the fire on that guy. I have +4 with my machine gun unit. It's better if I can kill stuff, I think. So we're going to try and wound and kill stuff. So I have +4, and their defense is 4. There's no other... Wow. Yeah, I don't even think I need to roll. I think he's just going to flat out hurt that guy. Oh, no, because he got the -2 for moving and shooting. So basically I have +2. So I got to roll a 2 or higher. And that's a 3. So... And boom, there it is. First casualty. I guess I will flip these down because that reminds me who's gone and who hasn't yet. So I'm going to leave that face up. He's gone. Or what I could do, so I don't have to keep looking at these to remind me, I tell you what, I'll put it face down to let me know he's activated. Aha, that's what I'll do. So my number 1 is gone. So now I got it, but now I have to look to see who's the number 1 for the Russian player. Oh, it's the first one I picked up. Lucky me. It's a fire team. They are not in the building, and so they need to get to cover. Do they? They probably don't. So we're just going to move them up. 1, 2, 3. I've got so many guys, I can afford to lose 1 or 2. Alright, then I have a fire group here for the German player who will move up. 1, 2, 3. Got a little obstacle in the way. They don't have a move and fire, so they'll just be done. And then we'll look for the number 2. This is the bluff. Yeah, I probably don't need the bluff marker. I like having the bluff marker. I guess that's cute. All right, 2. Oof. Now, they have a chance to be a hero because they could return fire, but they need a 6. Because they're on their reduced side, they have a +0 versus light vehicles, and the defense of this light vehicle is a 6. So they would have to roll a 6. So they're going to try, and they're going to be a hero today. They're going to return fire. Add 2. Sorry. I guess I'll put this one up since I know I got to come back to it, and that's the bluff. So I'll take that off now. I mean, I'm not playing entirely correctly. I'm playing, you know, what makes sense for me. So that was the number 1 went. The number 2 just went. So we're down to the number 3. We're going to move in. Now, moving into the offset tiles, I believe they move right into the full tile. It's adjacent. There's no wall blocking. So here there's a wall blocking. So I don't think he could move into this one necessarily because this wall kind of covers it. But like this is completely open. So we're just going to move in here. 1, 2, 3. And you can move adjacent within these offsets. So 1, 2, 3, and they're now in a position to move forward or provide some, not much of a cover because they've got a wall blocking this corner. So I can't shoot right there, and I had to move out here to come out. But that's fine. I think they'll be okay. So that's the 3rd. And then this is my 3rd Russian, their fire team. Same thing. They're going to try, let's see, I think I can move up here and then diagonally move into this offset. I don't think I can move from here to here because I've got a wall. Just trying to remember how offset works. So if that's the case, we'll just move 1 up, 2 to move into a diagonal, and then 3. So he's got a view out of that window, and he can see right there. They can shoot back and forth. And then that, yeah, they already went. Oops. Done. Done, done. Now we do the supply. I don't necessarily need to crowd everybody into this building because you can't shoot out very well. So we're going to move some folks around here. We'll go 1. With the diagonal movement, you know, it's amazing what you remember on how you can play and then what you forget. And then, because it's been a while, moving infantry units, they can't, let's see, can they move diagonal next to a building? Change of orientation. I don't see. I'm just trying to remember because I've played games in the past where this like corner of that building, you can't move diagonally around a corner of a building, but I'm not seeing that you can't do that. As long as they don't share the same square at the end of a movement. I mean, obviously you can't move through. 2 units can move diagonally. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll do that. 1. Because they're infantry, right? They just kind of pour around the corner there. 1, 2, 3. And then we got to move the MG34 team up here. 1, 2, 3. And because we've got their line of sight, we're going to deploy them. So now they are ready to shoot at stuff. Now I got an MG34 team here, and they don't have enough movement to get past this guy. So 1, 2, and they can't land in the same square. So they'll actually just stay right there. I need to move them up like 1 more and deploy them, and then they can have shoot. I was thinking that may be neat to have flanking fire by the machine guns. Plus, he's got a little bit of cover because he's in those woods. So he's got a little bit of protection and can shoot out. And then we'll move the leader up. He can move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll move him up. Okay, they're done with their supply movement. Then we have a lot of Russians left over here. So they can move through, they just can't end. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. And again, it's a matter of you don't want to just crowd the building necessarily. Maybe I'll put one more fire team in there. But I've got this wall. Now, the wall is in the corner, but it shows a little bit here. So I'm treating that like it's covering off that wall. Whereas this is nice and open, and this wall is blocking that square. So what we'll have to do is 1, I'm going to move diagonally 1, move diagonally 2 in, and then move diagonally 3 here. So now I've got 2 fire teams looking out these windows to shoot. I should have put a DP-28. That's what I should have done, but he couldn't make it in time. So what we'll do is move you up here. 1, 2. We're just gonna move. We're just gonna move. 1, 2, 3. Deploy. They're deployed, and they can start shooting. And then fire team. 1, 2, 3. And we're gonna bring Yuri up. 1, 2, 3. We'll move him into the building for protection. Okay, so that's all the supply movement. Not saying these are the best moves. We're just moving stuff up to, roll dice and play. So I'm going to go ahead and take these counters off. And again, I still like to put the fake one in there. So we'll mix these up a little bit. Okay, I won't know which they're going to do. I will now advance the turn marker because there's also the discarding of cards. I'm not going to discard any cards. I like the 3 they have, so they'll keep those. And again, I got to remember that they have the cards because I could, for instance, use Schnell, which would give these 2 guys movement, and they could still act if I put an order token on them. So, but their movement is only 1, so they can move up 1 more. But they like the cover. But anyway, I got to remember I have cards. So I advance my turn marker. It is now set for the Russian side. Turn 2. These have got to come off as well. Okay, so the Russian player gets to put his markers first. We're going to do some shooting. So we're going to put a marker here because they're deployed. We're going to put one here because they're going to shoot across at their buddy. And they're going to put one there because if they activate, they're going to shoot out this window and maybe shoot like that person there or that one. And we're going to put one here on the front of it. They're not in range to shoot. They're not in range to close assault, but they might want to move up because if they're going to be exposed, they're going to try and charge something because vehicle doesn't always hit. I don't always roll very well. However, being the +4 to the attack, chances are I'm not going to miss. So we might end up shooting some front of big people here, but we're going to try and just human wave our way forward. Okay, then for the German player, brings us back again, number 1. So this is going to be a big target for the Russian player. They want to kill that Jeep, so they're going to try and swarm that thing. Then we're going to go the MG34, and then finally we're going to do return fire with these guys. They're going to try and shoot in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just at the extended range of the long range 7. That's what we'll do. That's what we're going to do. Alright, Russian player has initiative, so I got to find their number 1. So let me flip and be surprised that, ooh, that was the blank one. And the Frontovic is number 1. Alright, now remember, Frontovic only has a range of 4 according to that. So they can't shoot yet. But charging that Jeep, we've got to charge the Jeep. 1, 2, 3, and hope that when he fires, he misses. Now he's got +4 on the machine gun, and he's got a 5 on the defense, a 1. That, I mean, I don't think that's a miss. I think that's a dead Russian unit. Like I said, might not have been the most smart choices to pick. We're just putting stuff out here. So the Russians are like, charge the Jeep. So let me roll the... So that means I need to have hit on a 1, right? Hit a 1 or a higher, because it's the number or higher. I just feel so bad because it feels like it's an automatic hit. It almost feels like I did that on purpose just to be rude. Yeah, if the final result is equal to or higher than the target's defense value, the target takes a hit. Now, there is one rule here that I keep forgetting. I haven't really needed it yet, but this would be a good example of it. If the result of the die roll, including any bonuses, is equal to or higher than twice the target's defense value, including any bonuses, the target is immediately destroyed. This includes heavy vehicles. Now, I'm not going to roll a 10, but if a defense value was such that, let's say they had a defense of 4, and I rolled a 6, and with my +2 or 3 to hit, I rolled like an 8. There's some chances you could roll double the person's defense value and eliminate them outright. But yeah, this machine gun is going to kill out that unit. I rolled a 1. So even rolling a 1, it's equal to or greater than the number I needed to hit. So they are eliminated. Like I said, it wasn't like I was purposefully setting these folks up, but it's a Frontovic unit. So I'm going to set it here next to the HMG group. It doesn't matter. I just know that at some point when you start taking enough casualties, you kind of got to decide, am I taking it, am I eliminating the support group or the HMG group? Because these aren't really assigned to a specific group. So as you start taking casualties, once you have enough to eliminate a tile, you need to eliminate a tile. So we'll just set them out there for now. Okay, and then we'll take... Now, that is one thing I want to point out. I don't remember, and I could look in the rules, but the way I've played it in the past, and it could be wrong, but how I play it in the past is if I eliminate enough stuff that it's enough to clear a tile, because my HMG group and my support group are made up of different units. So if I lost a fire team, Frontovic, and the HMG 19, that would be enough to eliminate that tile. Because there's the thought of, well, the support group is also 2 fire teams and a DP-28. Well, which support, which fire team belongs to which? They're on the board and they're all moving around. So I just say, if you lose enough units to fulfill one of those little tiles, I take that first. That's how I've been playing it. That could be wrong. You might be able to choose, but I know someone will clarify that for me. But just for sake of continuity here, because this opponent is, kind of an AI driven, is once I've eliminated enough to fulfill a group, I just eliminate that group first. So we've lost a Frontovic, which could go... right now is counting towards the HMG group. There is a Frontovic here with the Volga Rifle Battalion, but I would have to lose Lieutenant Yuri, the Frontovic, and 2 fire teams. So that platoon is usually the last thing to go. You lose all the support stuff first. Okay, so anyway, they're gone. Then it's that was his turn because he fired. Then we go to number 2. This fire team... Again, the idea is I got to move up and have someone adjacent here by the end of the supply phase to win. So we could either move up, but I think I'll move up with these fire teams. I'll move them up in the supply phase. So what we'll do is actually shoot out here and try to eliminate a bad guy. The wall here... I'm just trying to think with the offset because it is kind of weird. Because this wall comes out here, in my mind I'm thinking this square is covered. And so can he see through here? Because he can see this part of the offset. So we're going to err on the side of carnage and say that yes, this fire team can shoot at him, at this fire group. But this building gives +2 defense. So they actually have 6 defense. We have +2 fire. So I need to hit on a 4+. So the Russian player is going to shoot across and try to wound them. And they get the 4. So fire group is hunkered down in the building, but they take some casualties, so they're done. Now I got to find my number 2 over here, which is the MG34. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're now at long range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The front of Vic unit that was here was in range before, but since they've been eliminated, they're just going to shoot straight across. That's -2 on the firing. The deployed MG34 has a +4, so now it's a +2. They have a defense of 5, so I need to roll a 3 or higher. So the MG34 team opens up with a 2, and they miss. Daka, daka, daka. Okay, the number 3, they're deployed, and they're going to shoot straight across here at this fire group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're within range. And they could do suppressive fire, which would double their attack value, but like we're trying to kill stuff, so we're gonna kill stuff. So we're gonna go +3. They have a defense of 4, so we need a 1 essentially to hit. Okay, well that's a wound, right? +3. Subtract that from the 4 leaves a 1. Yeah, they rolled a 5. So that's very good. Fire group wounded. Oh no! Okay. My third group, fire group, is going to shoot at this fire team here because they can shoot through the window, but they have a defense of 2 for the building. There's a 2 right there. You can barely see it. So that gives them a total defense of 6. They have a +2 against infantry, so they're hitting on a 4 or higher. Nope. Not good rolls for the German player. Alright. Then we can do the supply phase. So we're going to move some Russians up. 1, 2, 3. So they're swarming, so we can get someone to take that over. This fire group didn't shoot, so they'll have to move out. And the reason why they're going to move out is to maintain possession here of a spot. Well, let's move all the Russians up real quick. 1, 2, 3. Fire team. Oh, why is my fire team? I deployed them on their wounded side. 1, 2, 3. DP-28 needs to get out here. 1, 2, they're going to go here, 3, and they're going to deploy. Ooh, that could be good, because they got to attack. We want to kill that Jeep. All the machine guns, because the machine guns have a very high deadly rate of fire. Okay, so that's all of the Russians move. Then the German player, we got to get up here. Here we go. This might be okay. We're going to go 1, 2. Yeah, you can't move into assault. I think you can move adjacent, though. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard to contest that spot. Supply phase. Neither firing actions or assaults can happen. You can discard a suppressed marker, which we don't have. Once player's initiative is done. Yeah, I don't see how it says you can't move adjacent. You just can't do assault or fire during it. So we're going to move there to try and contest ownership. Oh, well, that's not quite adjacent, is it? 1, 2, 3. There. I think what we'll do is go here, and we're going to pop them out here. Again, I'm just popping them out to this one because to me this wall extends, so I can't move diagonally out into here because this is blocking the movement. So we're going to put him here, going to put him here so they can fight. MG34 team, 1, 2. I'm going to move that dice tower a little bit. 1, 2, 3, and then they're going to deploy so they can shoot at everything. Again, might not be the smartest deployments, but we're just playing for fun. So we're going to take these off. Oops. I'm not going to do anything with the cards. I've got those 2 reroll second chance cards and the surprise. There's no windows for me to jump through. So that surprise, you know what? That's what we'll do. The surprise lets me move through a window, but we have no windows. Everything is windowless. So I will discard that one for the Russian player and get a different card. And he gets weak point. Play before activating one of your units. If your unit shoots at a heavy vehicle, okay, so there's no heavy vehicle. So again, I'm going to discard things that don't apply to what we have. It was easier to do this instead of going through and pulling all the cards first. So I'll just draw it now. And now we got initiative. Play before the activation of an enemy unit. If you don't have the initiative, you can activate your unit before your opponents, providing the number of their order token is the same as yours. This battle event does not enable you to take the initiative on a special order. Okay, good. We're going to do that. Great. In fact, we're going to do, well, we're not at the start of the orders phase, so this puts a lot of initiative on the side of the Russian player, so we might have a real strong advantage here. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to keep all the cards for the German player. So we've supplied, we've checked the cards, we're going to advance the initiative. It's now turn 3. It's going to be the German player. We're going to randomize the Russian activation. Now this is going to be tough. Since it's the order, I'm going to play the high command card. Play at the start of the orders phase. And I'm going to take this one special order token and I'm going to go ahead and put it in the mix so I won't know who gets it. And this is important. This could win the game. So he's definitely going to do something. The DP-28 is deployed. They're going to do something. The MG-34 is deployed. I'm going to have them do something. The Frontovic and the fire team. That's what we got. Now for the German player, let's see. That Jeep is going to be rocking his machine gun this entire game. So he's going to go first, which is good because the German players have the initiative. Then this MG-34. And you know what? Probably this group here. Yeah. Because what I'll do is they can either shoot or they can assault in. These folks are hidden. They haven't really done anything. Probably misusing them, but by having them just sit there. All right, so here's their deployment. Now let's see how this turned out. Okay, they're going to act second. That's not too bad. The Frontovic is number 1 for them. Ooh, I'm going to tell you why this is very important here. And, okay, third for that. There's the bluff, and here's the special order. Okay, so this is right where the Russian player has a lot of good things going for them right now. Because I'm going to play the initiative card, and they have their special order token. The special order token, because I get to use that before an activation that I do, or after, so I guess I could do it after. It doesn't matter. I can make it turn 0 because I'm going to steal initiative with my number 1 group, right? So first, I'm going to go ahead, so I don't forget, use my special order token on the MG-1910 group. So the Russian player, by stealing the initiative, it's done the same order token as the German player's number 1. So I'm going to have the front of it go. And then the MG-1910 is going to shoot at his MG-34 because machine guns are horrible. They're terrible weapons and they hurt. So if he can eliminate them, that is going to just greatly eliminate a lot of the German players' offensive capability. So putting them in the open was not smart. So we got +3. They have a 5 defense. So the Russian player is going to hit on a 2 or higher. They roll a 5, so I don't even have to use a card to reroll or anything like that. So that eliminates the MG-34 because the MG-34 can only take 1 hit. This is going to be bad. And their special order, I'm going to keep it there to remind me that they've activated. Okay, then the Frontovic because they stole the initiative. I'm going to put that in the discard. They're going to move. So they go 1, 2, and they're going to, where was I? 1, 2. They're actually going to assault the Jeep. They're not going to shoot it. They're going to jump in there and assault it. Yes! I'll tell you why. Now I could shoot, and I have a +1. I even get a +1 on the assault, but with the assault, I get to roll 2 dice. They don't have an assault value, so they get to roll 1 die in defense. So we're going to see if that works out in our favor. I've buried the other red Russian die somewhere. Oh, whoa. I had their little baggie out, and I think I moved some stuff around, and now I've lost the baggie. Oh, man. Because I was going to roll all 3. So what I'm going to do is just temporarily borrow a non-fancy Russian red die. I don't know where I put it. Okay, so we'll just do that. And then the defending German player gets 1. So I get to pick the better assault value of the 2 for the Russian player. Oh, it wasn't that much better. So let's see. This might not be as good as I thought. Well, I have +1, and they have a defense of 6. So actually, I didn't hurt it in the assault. The defender rolled a 1. They get +4 against somebody, so that's 5. I think the Jeep killed the Frontovic unit, because I get +4 versus infantry, and they have a defense of 5, and there's no cover because they were assaulting in, and I rolled a 1. So 5 minus 4 is 1, so I needed to roll a 1 or higher, and I rolled a 1. Yeah, so I think they're dead. In my head, this was a super cool move. Like, I was like, yes, we'll just have the Russians surge forward. We did good with the MG 1910, but then the Frontovic unit we rolled really, really bad. Oh, wait, no, we didn't. Dun, 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 dun. Hold on, because I've got my second chance. Reroll or make someone reroll all dice. We're going to keep the 1, but we're going to see. Maybe we can eliminate each other here. Hold on. Well, we got a 4 that time. I don't think that helped. Let me see here. Hold on. I'll be right back. I'm going to think this through. Okay, so I was overthinking this. I don't have to worry about their defense values. Basically, it's you roll the dice, you take your die roll plus the attack bonus versus that type of target. So I'd add the 1 here for my Russian player, rolled a 4 on the reroll. Add the 1 against the light vehicle. It gave me a 5. Then the German player, because they had rolled a 1, what he could do is his +4 versus infantry is a 5. That's a tie. And basically all it says is in a tie, the infantry are pushed back because they're assaulting from here, so they just stay right there, and no damage is applied. But I think what we'll do is have the German player roll. He's going to discard that, and he's going to re-roll that 1. Because if he can beat the German or the Russian attack value, he will. That's a 6. Oh, you can't see that. I had to move that for the MG. Let's move that back. You can see that better. So that's 6 plus 4 is a 10. That's also twice the Frontovic defense. That's an example right there of twice their defense value. So they wipe out the Frontovic unit. So assault, I was trying to overcomplicate the process. It's really not that difficult. But what we have here is a case of overzealous ambition. And now, just narratively, that's kind of cool because it makes sense. You know, you've got people running in the open, in the open, and you got someone with a machine gun, they're going to shoot down people who are running in the open. And that's what we saw here. All these charging Russians come out here. They're trying to assault, and he's just mowing them down. Sad, but narratively makes sense. So they're out of the story. And that was all on that stealing the initiative. So now we get to go to the German players' #1 activation. So they're going to... That was just the defense, right? So they still get to attack. They're going to shoot here at the DP-28 now that some of those other targets are down. So they have a +4. The DP-28 is a 5. So this is another eliminated unit. This one guy, I was really hoping that that was going to be a cool assault and take that Jeep. But this Jeep is doing a fabulous job of defending that position. So they also take out the DP-28 because the DP-28 only gets one hit. It's got a red skull. So they go out. So we're not doing good. We're not doing as good as I thought we would. Now, because that was the #2 activation for the Russian player, they don't get a 2 activation. So he's done. And that would have been the #2, but it's gone. And we did the special order for them. And that's a bluff. So we go to the #2 for the German player. It'd be the #2 for the German player anyway because they got initiative. They have an MG34. What? They can shoot here at this fire team. 1, 2. Now, there's a thing about blocking. I want to make sure that Jeep, is it blocking line of sight? Because it's not like they're not directly in front of the MG34, but the line kind of, I think if I went from the center to the center, it probably skips them. If I had my string, I don't have my laser pointer here. Let me see, I got a little tape measurer. It might bypass that Jeep. I might not need to worry about. Yeah, so if I go center point to center point here, yeah, we're good. I don't know if you can see that overhead very well, but it is not touching the Jeep. So we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to say they shoot, and they're shooting past the Jeep. So they have +4 against infantry. They are a 4 on the defense. They're in the open. So that should be an automatic hit. They need a 0 or better. So that machine gun, yeah, they rolled a 1, but that's still enough to hit. So they get flipped. So the 2 machine gun units over here, the Jeep and the actual MG34, have totally shut down this side of the map. Wow. Okay, so that was the 2s. Then the Russian 2 is not there, so we go to the 3s. German 3 is a fire group. Now what I was going to do is have them assault. But they're not really weak. They'll probably just shoot. So they have +1 to shoot. And they have a 4 defense. So they're going to hit on a 3+. So they rolled a 6. Alright, so that actually hurts them real quick. And they're done. That actually went much better than I thought it would. And their #3 is a fire team. They're going to shoot out this window onto this fire group. Ooh! Ooh, this might be good. If we can eliminate that fire group, we're going to come really close to winning because we'd have to move a unit out. We got to have to move a unit around just to keep this area contested around this point. So they're going to shoot here. So fire team to that fire group. So they have a +2 against infantry. They have a defense of 5 because they're wounded. So they need a 3 or higher to hit. And they got it. So that's eliminated. So we've lost 2 German units and we've lost 3 Russian units. And they're done. And that's a bluff. And that would be the supply phase. So anything that does not have a marker can move. So the German player gets to supply move first. So they're going to move up 1, 2 because we need to keep this contested. Then we're going to move the leader up. Where to, though? You know, he can move into this building. Well, and he could probably shoot from there. So he will. He's going to do that. He's going to go... what would be adjacent? I think that can count as adjacent there because the wall is open. So we're going to go 1. And then he can shoot out there to help bolster the defense. And they're going to stay put. Then for the Russian player, yeah, the fire team's going to move up because we want to still attack and assault that Jeep and kill it. That's going to be tough because he's got that machine gun. See, even though he only rolls 1 die, he gets to add 4. So maybe assaulting that Jeep is not a good idea. Maybe their best bet, well, at this point, because he's got 6 defense, I think an assault is still the best chance to kill it. So they're going to move up. 1, 2, 3. And they're going to hope to get first. They're going to hope to get first. This team here is going to stay put because they're in a good defensive position and they can shoot out. I'm assuming that I'm going to pretend this opening. We'll let them shoot down there. And then this fire team moves up. 1, 2, 3. Well, let me see here. I just want to make sure on blocking fire. Obstacles. An obstacle is anything that can block or obscure line of sight. Infantry, looks like infantry can shoot through infantry. You can move through it, you just can't land on it here. Like I'm looking here at this little chart. So that's an infantry. So my MG, it looks like if I move this fire team up here to fight, this MG 1910, looking at the chart, I should be able to shoot through them to get at them. I could move through it and can't land on them. That's what the movement is. And their movement, I'm just trying to see here. I guess this red is line of sight. So, no, I guess you can't see through people. He blocks it. Infantry does block it. I think green is for movement. A clear line of sight is one that does not cross any obstacles. So a terrain element marked with this symbol completely blocks line of sight. So I'm guessing an infantry unit blocks an infantry unit. You cannot shoot at an enemy unit if there is any terrain elements of this type between 2 units. So that's important. In fact, what we'll do then, because I forgot where he was. Where was he? Here? Here. 1, 2, 3. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Then I can shoot there. I'm going to have to come back and re-examine this chart here. Because it looks like... Is red for firing? Is green like moving? It's like we can move through stuff, but we can't land on it. And then, oh, let's see, affected different types. Units connected by green arrows can shoot at each other, while units connected by red arrows cannot. Oh, okay. Yep. So this is just not moving at all. Yeah, see, so if I'm connected by a red, so this example right here is what I'm looking at. If I had a unit right here, my machine gun could not shoot through here to them, so I'm going to have to move them right there, according to that. Like I could shoot here to here, or here to here, but I can't shoot here to here because it blocks. I can shoot... This guy can't shoot at anybody because this big old tank blocks his line of sight. This tank can't shoot at this infantry because that light vehicle blocks line of sight. So yeah, these guys kind of block each other. What a pain. Boom air. But it looks like this heavy vehicle could shoot any one of these guys because infantry don't block line of sight to a heavy vehicle, or possibly to a vehicle. Alright, well, let's not overcomplicate it. I've spent too much time discussing it. I've moved them here so they're out of the way. The machine gun unit can fire. Good. Alright, we got to redraw some cards. I did play one for the German player, so I'll redraw his first. They got burst into action. Play before activating one of your units. During this activation, your unit gains the fire on the move special ability. Ignore the combat value penalty if your unit has already has the fire on the move special ability. Oh, I can give that to the Jeep. Let it reposition and shoot with no penalty. The Russian player played two. You know what? He also played his second chance. Let's not forget that, because he re-rolled. So he used all 3 cards. So he is getting dynamic. You can move one of your order tokens onto a unit that doesn't have one. Okay, good. Then we have burst into action. Play before activating one of your units. Same thing. Give one of your units a move and fire ability. And order 227. Play at the end of the order phase. An officer executes several men for cowardice. One of your infantry units positioned 4 squares or less from one of your officers immediately suffers 1 hit. Suddenly motivated. All units within 3 squares or less from this officer gain an assault +1 bonus both as the attacker and defender in the next activation phase. Alright, get the commissars. Ah, yeesh. I don't know if I like that. Because I could then give an assault bonus to, say, these fire teams to go and take out these groups, but I'd have to wound, say, this guy to do it, because he's out of range and he's going to try and assault that Jeep. Alright, well, there's the cards, so let's take these tokens off, order tokens. Let me get rid of the special order that the Russian player had, because he's already used it, and we're going to place them face down. We're advancing the turn marker. It's now turn 4. Russian player has the initiative. We're going to mix them up. Oh my goodness. Where has this game... I thought it would be a clear Russian victory, but the Germans, at least on this flank, has held really strong. So... yeah, because they need to try and go first. He definitely wants to shoot. Because he's thinking about during the shooting this guy to give them a bonus to assault. But see, I'd have to have them activated and ready. So the only way to really make that work is play at the end of the order phase. Oh, at the end of the order phase, an officer executes several men. So what we could do is play the card. He could execute some dudes here. And then they would get bonus to assault because they're going to assault these. So that's what we're going to do. Check this out. Boom. And then you need something and you need something. I know you might be saying, what? I'll try to explain it here in just a second. But German player definitely needs to have that Jeep. Get rid of those guys. And... he's really run out of targets, so I'm going to have to redeploy him. But you need to do something, and you need to do something. I am slowly running out of German troops to worry about. Okay, so let's reveal... ha, that's their blank. Oh, man. That was the blank one. They're not going to assault the Jeep yet. So all the action is happening over here. They're number 1. Oh, this might work out just the way I thought. But almost. Yeah, this will work out pretty good. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to play order 227. And he's going to execute some dudes here. And now that means all of them within, it says... all units within 3 squares or less from this officer gain an assault +1 bonus as the attacker and defender during their next activation. So they're not going to do anything because they don't have an order token. They do because they're going to assault out. So keep that in mind. Now we're going to see some assaults that will definitely go in favor of the Russian player. Okay, so Russian player has the initiative. His number 1 is going to go. His number 1 is going to assault here. in my mind, I just envision these clashes of folks that are just going for it. Now, the thing is, I don't know where I put this other dice for the German player and the Russian player. I don't know where I put them. So the game does come with 2 dice. I just, from somehow the last time I played and did stuff, I've misplaced the second die for them. Why would I do that? I don't know. Oh, you know what? I had a different dice roller I was using. Maybe it's still in that dice roller. I should probably pause while I find that other dice roller. Where did I put it? Oh, that's right here. Ha ha ha! I found my dice. Get rid of that one. Get rid of this one. Alright. Because they have the assault, they both roll 2 dice, but the Russian player gets to add 1 to their highest number. So here we go. This is going to be carnage. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to get rid of the lowest dice numbers here. And the Russian player rolled a 4, the German player rolled a 3. So 3 plus 1 is 4. The Russian player rolled a 4, plus his 1 is a 5, plus the 1 is a 6. That means they got the higher number, so the Russian player wins that assault. It's that deadly. Boom, not a tie or anything like that. So they take them out, and they're going to capture the square. And we lost another fire group. So far, I've lost not enough to flip anybody, but I've lost a fire group, and MG34. If I lose the lieutenant, then that would be enough to flip the platoon, because I got to lose this recon unit to get rid of the Panzer Grenadier attachment. Okay, so that was number 1. And the Germans lose their number 3 on the board. Whoa. Things are not looking favorable for the German player now. They were doing so good on this flank. And over here they're going to get rid of this bluff unit. So they take and fire the machine gun plus 4, minus 5 defense. They need a 1. So they're going to eliminate that Frontovik here. So they're gone. Or fire team, not a Frontovik, but it's a fire team. So what have we lost now for the Russian player? I know you can't see the little tile there very well, but we've lost a fire team, 2 Frontoviks. I still need, you know what? The DP-28 and 2 fire teams. I still haven't lost enough to flip anybody yet. Getting close, though. Getting close. Alright, so number 1 is done. Then we go to the 2s. The Russian 2 is the MG-1910. They were going to shoot here, but you know what? They can actually shoot at this fire group. 1, 2, 3. It's just a straight across line of sight. They have a plus 3 on the firepower. They have a 4. I think that's going to be a hit, because 4 minus 3 is a 1. And they're in the open, so there's no defense. So, I mean, I need a 1 to hit. I rolled a 1, but that's still enough to hit. So they go down 1. So they're still on the board, and they're done. And they're my number 2 unit, so they took an ouchie. But they're going to shoot across here and take this unit out. Well, I wonder, we're going to shoot in here. I'll tell you why. If I shoot them, and if I can eliminate them, they can't move out to try and contest ownership of the adjacent space to the objective. So we're going to fire, but I only get a plus 1. Their defense, I don't think I can hit, because they have a 5, plus 2 for the building is 7. I have a plus 1. They need to roll a 6. They have to roll a 6. This would be the better target to eliminate, but they're going to come out and defend that spot if we don't take them out. So I got to roll a 6. And they roll a 2. Well, you know, they thought about it. Then it goes to the 3s, and the Russian player has a fire team. This fire team, they could move out and take that. You know, they're full strength. Oh, you know what? They get the +2 assault. So they're actually going to come out. They're going to go 1. It's kind of, see, the offset kind of throws me off because this corner, I mean, maybe I can't move here, but through this open window, I should be able to move to one of these. So we'll just go like this. We're going to go 1 and 2. They have assaults. They have +2 against infantry, +1 for the card they did. So there's a very good chance that they could wipe out that German unit. So we're going to roll our 2 dice, and the German player also has the assault ability, so he's going to roll 2 dice in defense. Oof. Oof. Okay, so these are the lowest results. So there's actually 2 6s at stake here. Alright, so the German player, I think, lost because he's going to have 6 plus his 1 is 7. That's a good value. But I have 6 plus 2 is 8, plus the 1 is 9. That means the Russian player won. And he gets to take the square. This fire group is eliminated. Well, they don't lose it, but they lost that battle. And that was the third token. And the German player doesn't have a 3 out there. I think this is going to be a Russian victory. Some good dice rolling. Alright, so here we have some decision to make. This is the supply phase now. Anybody who hasn't activated can move. So this is where these guys have to come out. But they're going to move. They're going to be out in the open. So they're going to have to be out here. And they have to because, and I think because they're in the zone of control, they can't move again. Because if I don't, at the end of the supply phase, the Russian player would be the only one here at the objective, and they're going to win. So that leaves the leader here. That way he can try and shoot out at stuff. Yikes. He can't move. He can move. But see, I'm looking at the losses. I haven't lost the recon group. I still have not lost enough to flip one of these tiles to the eliminated side, which gives, victory points to the victor. So I can't flip it yet. Okay. And the MG34 team really can't shoot anybody. I guess he could shoot here through the window at them. But he needs to come out here so he can lay down some fire at these spots. So they're going to flip 3. They only flip once. That might not be a smart move. They might just want to shoot through the window and take out that team. So we'll just leave them there. At least they can do that. These 2 units will defend here. Oh, but I still got fresh Russian troops right there. Oh, but I got a Jeep. I got a Jeep, though, that can move and fire on the next turn, which can lay down some defense there. Yeah, so let's move. But see, yeah, we're going to move him. So he's going to flip and go 1, 2, 3, and eventually set up to shoot that way. That's it. He can move. Did he already move? He hasn't moved yet, I don't think. They're going to move into position there so they can attack. They're going to stay there to shoot. I think that's the best I can do. Oh my goodness. The tension. The tension. Alright. We are down to the last little bit here. This might be the turn that decides it. So we're going to advance the turn marker. Germans go first. I'm going to mix up the Russians here. I don't know which is the bluff. They have not lost enough yet to flip anybody or lose. I don't think. Yeah, because they have to lose 2 fire teams, and they haven't yet. They've lost a Frontovic. You know what? Oh, the Frontovic is from there. I have a lot of fire teams. So I need to lose one more fire team, and I would take out the support group. I would lose 1 star from the support group. All right. Well, let's do it. We're going to put here, 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 here. Okay. German player. Machine gun. Well, he can move and fire. Plus, he's got a card for that burst into action, so he can move and fire with no penalty. So he's going to move and fire with no penalty at that group. Then the MG34 team is going to try and take out that group. And then the recon group is going to try and mop up whoever. All right, let's reveal the Russians. That's their number 3. That's their number 1. That's their number 2. And that's the bluff. All right, so we'll take the bluff off. That would have been good if they had actually activated, because they could have shot diagonally right in here, bloop, and taken the recon group. But they didn't. All right, so the Jeep is going to play burst into action. This lets me play before activating one of your units. During the activation, your unit gains the fire and move, and if they already have fire and move, they get to ignore the fire penalty. So they're going to move up here. Now, they do not have an arc of fire. I just turn them because it makes sense. So they drive, and then they face that direction and fire. And they're going to try and kill that group. So we have +4. They have a defense of 4. They're in the open. So it's a hit. Yeah. I'm just looking here. I'm like, I think if I roll, let me see here. I think if I roll a 6, it said if you double their defense, I have to get 8. If I get an 8 or higher with all my total bonuses, I eliminate them outright. Well, 4 + 4 is 8. Is that after I subtract? Let's see. Well, there's nothing to subtract. I think I just eliminated that unit outright. Let's see here. Boy, is things turning around. For a minute, this ebb and flow is going back and forth here. Let's see. If the result of the die roll, including any bonuses, is equal to or higher than twice the target's defense value, including any bonuses, the target is immediately destroyed. This includes heavy vehicles. I think we just eliminated that unit. I have my 4 attack value plus my die roll of 4 is a grand total of 8. And their defense is 4. That's twice. So I think I just eliminated them with the little Jeep team here. And that gets rid of their 2. Wow. Okay. These machine gun teams are amazing. We honestly tried to take them out early on, just could not do it. And it is showing in their favor. All right, so now the Russian player goes. They're going to shoot. This assault stuff hasn't really worked to their advantage. So they're going to try and shoot. You know what? I've forgotten. Listen. I've completely forgotten about grenades, and I've forgotten that the German player has these +1 tokens he can use before he makes an attack roll. I've completely forgotten about all that stuff. So we're going to go ahead and have this fire team shoot here. So they have a +1 on the attack. The defense of the recon group is a 5 because they know how to hide well. So we need to hit on a 4+. They roll a 6. So that recon group is eliminated. And they get rid of their order token. That is big. Done. All right, that leaves the number 2. So the MG34 team. Oh, this is something. The MG34 team is going to fire here. They have, but because they moved, so you know what? I don't know what I was thinking. If I had stayed here, they would have been deployed, and I didn't realize that they have a line of sight to this group right there. I was thinking I could come here and just have a nice lane of fire. But this was not a good choice. I should have kept them where they were. So what does that mean? That means they're going to attack, but they get 0 on the attack. I have to roll a 4 or higher to hit. So I took a guaranteed hit and sacrificed it. And I moved them out of cover because I wasn't thinking. And they miss because of it. That was a very poor play for the Germans. Don't ask me where they found this commander at. So the Russian player says, oh, wait a minute. There's a machine gun team out in the open firing at us like idiots. So they're going to attack back. They get a +2. They have a defense of 5. They hit on a 3+. They rolled a 5, and they only have 1 hit. They should have stayed in cover and taken that unit out. Oh, what was I thinking? That was not smart at all. That's the 3. Wow, that right there, that poor planning just totally changed the outcome here. So now we got to do the supply phase. The leader, who we have said we would keep safe at all costs, he moves forward because he's got to maintain a contention here on the objective. Then the Russian player, he steps out through the opening. He goes 1, 2, and he stays put because he can help defend that. And then their leader comes out. Yeah. And he'll go here. And again, trying to use the offset squares, we just come through the window. Boop, and pop out there. And then the MG, their team is going to stay put. They could move 1, but there's really no need to because he's going to shoot between these units and try to kill the leader. So that's the supply movement. We get cards. The German player gets Pervitten. Play after activating one of your infantry units. Activate this unit a second time. Place a suppress marker on the unit after the second activation. Well, that's if I want to suppress them. That's their meth candy. Courage for the Russian player. Remove a suppressed marker from one of your units. We haven't suppressed yet, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. All right. And let me check. I've taken some losses here. Let's see. I think I may have lost enough now for the Russians to lose the support team. The DP-28 unit was eliminated, and it has 2 fire teams. Fire team. I've now lost 2 fire teams and the DP-28. So I lose the support group. So I flip it over, and that's how many victory points the opponent would get. But more importantly, they lose 1 activation, 1 order activation. So they go from 3 down to 2. So that will hurt them. So now they only get 2. They only have 2 and a bluff. That might make a big decision for them. Okay, now for the German player, because they've lost a bit. They've lost an MG34, and they haven't lost the recon group, but they've lost MG34. Well, the Jeep, they're still good. They haven't lost enough to break something yet, believe it or not. So they're holding. If they lose the lieutenant, then that will be a big loss. If they lost the recon group. They did lose the recon group. I forgot about that. So with the loss of the recon group, the MG34, and one of the fire groups, they have lost their Panzer Grenadier support. So that would be 5 points for the Russian player. And they also lose 1 order token. So they're down to 2. They had fewer units, so I mean, it's still harsh. Boy. And all that we got left now is the Jeep and this main platoon. Oh, the leader. That's it. A Jeep and a leader. Wow. Okay. Well, here we go. The Jeep is going to fire, and the lieutenant is going to see how well he holds out. This could be the end. I want the machine gun to fire. And I want a healthy fire team to attack. And I want this guy to attack. Okay, let's see how this goes. They're first. Oh, they're the blank. Oh, but there you go. The Russian player's happy because he wants that machine gun to take out the leader. Well, to help with that, the fire team, should they go for this Jeep? They have burst into action. They had dynamic. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna. Oh no, that won't help. I forgot. Germans have the initiative. I was gonna have the Russian player do something, but Germans have the initiative. So this guy is gonna go ahead and shoot this team. So they get their +4. They need a 1. I think that's pretty much a guaranteed hit. So they rolled a 1 and they took them out. Nope. So they're gone. Oh, okay. Then they lost their 1. Then the 2. So the leader has +2 versus infantry. So he's going to... None of them have an activation. So he's going to actually try and take out Yuri. No, these guys are easier to kill. So he's going to attack this group here. So he's got +2 versus infantry. They have a 2 defense. So he's got to roll on a 2 or higher. Don't roll a 1. He rolled a 2. So that will flip him. So he is out here like a hero. Then the machine gun unit. Now this could be the end of our Volrath. So he's got +3. He's got 6. So he's going to hit on a 3 or higher. So the Russian player rolls. He needs a 3 or higher. He rolled a 3. So that wounds Volrath. Doesn't change his stats though. He's still tough. All right. That's it. Oh, I forgot to use my Pervethin. I just didn't want to suppress somebody, but I don't want to move anything. We're all good. So we're going to take these off. Oof. Advance my turn marker because I'm not discarding any cards. We're just going to go here. This is the last turn. And this is down to the wire here. So the Russian player is going to go first. So what they're going to do is mix up their tokens. And they're going to go here. Here. He's got a range of 4. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go here. And then the German player, 1 and 2. Alright, what did we get? Oh, the machine gun was the bluff! Oh, why'd they do that? That could have taken the lieutenant out for sure, but nope, they're doing this the old-fashioned way. Okay, so Russian player goes first. They want to take out Lieutenant Volrath because the Jeep couldn't move up if he needs to. So he'll probably fire and move. I think this is going to end up as a draw, actually. Unless somebody is able to actually destroy this Jeep, this very well could be a draw. Even if I lose this guy, because I don't lose my 2 orders until the end of the supply phase. So Lieutenant Yuri is going to attack this lieutenant because he's wounded, but he only has a +1. So he's gonna hit on a 5+. 5+, probably could have solved. That might be better, but he shoots and he gets that 5. He needed a 5, and he hits Lieutenant Volrath. What? Whoa! That's going to be a loss of 2 stars at the end here, and that actually loses the platoon because now that I've lost the lieutenant. So I mean, I'm going to flip it over here. That's their loss of 7 points there, or seven victory points for the Russian player. That's bad because that's a loss of all orders. That unit, the Germans are pretty much out of the fight. They have no more orders to give. They've lost the platoon. They've lost that support squad. So that's pretty much it, I would say, on that. I mean, they get to finish the turn, but he's done. Now, we're going to move. But here's the thing. I'm a machine gunner. So here's the thing. I think this is ultimately, I would give this as a victory to the Russians just because the Russians have finally eliminated enough of that platoon that, you know, there's a Jeep. But at the same time, it could go as a draw because I have a Jeep here next to the objective. I would say ultimately this would go for the Russian player because I have no more order tokens. Even after I do this, that's it. Now, as a machine gunner, I can split my fire. So I can put 2 here and 2 here. And that's what we'll do. So we'll see if we can put some hurt. Because I got a +4 attack, so I'm going to split 2 there, 2 there. They're like right there. I think I could do against this third guy too and just spray. So I could go like 1, 2, 1. Let me see how that works. So that machine gun, I might just as a last hurrah try and spray and take out everybody. See if we can find that machine gun rule. Machine gunner. During a firing action, a unit with this ability can shoot at several enemies. All these must be of the same type, infantry, light vehicles, or heavy. And positioned within 2 squares of at least one of other targeted, which he is within 2 here. So they are all together. The firing unit naturally needs to have a clear or obscured line of sight, which he does. Split the firing unit's combat value modified by any bonuses or penalties, so that any one of the shots taken receives a bonus of at least +1. You must announce this split and allocate the combat value points to the target units before throwing any dice, then make separate rolls for every shot. I think we can do that. And in fact, what we'll do, so we're going to open up with the machine gun unit, and after he fires, we'll use the meth pills, my meth candy, Pervetin, and have him fire again at anybody who survives. So we're going to go +1, +1, +2. So +1 against them, +2 there. That's splitting his fire bonus. Did he move just now? I did. I moved him up here so he could contest that spot. I have a penalty of -2. So this actually might not work out. But we'll say it does. So +1, +1, +2. So I have +1. I need a 6 because of that pesky -2 movement penalty. Yeah. I forgot. If I had stayed put, he could do it. Yeah, I should have stayed put in hindsight. Yikes. That's okay. We're going to try it. So I need a 6. I need a 6. And I put 2 against him. It's a 6. I need a 6 against all of them. All of them. So we're going to roll against this guy first. Nope. This guy. Nope. And the lieutenant. Nope. Did I do the Pervetin? Same thing. Unfortunately, I didn't take anybody out, so the bonus points I have will be split the same way. So 6. Yeah. Ba-bing. Got him. And his number 2 is out. Okay. I think that's enough to flip somebody. We'll check here in a little bit. Then a 6 against him. Oh, I just totally... What? Whoa. It's a 6. Sorry, I had to move that. I didn't want you to think that I was making that up. I missed the dice tower, but it landed as a 6 right next to the dice tower. They're gone. But even if I hit the lieutenant, it's still not enough to kill the lieutenant, which I didn't hit. So they're done. All right. So I think, to be fair, I would still give this victory to the Russian player simply because we did actually flip the main platoon. Because Lieutenant Yuri did not die, his platoon, even though all he's got left is the HM support team. Yeah, these... Oh, you know what? You don't have to lose all of it. I just forgot. You know what? I played this completely wrong. You only have to lose 2 of it. You don't have to lose all 3. So actually, I think some of these guys got eliminated a lot sooner, or they lost their order tokens a lot sooner. But I really wanted to play this out for 6 turns. So yeah, I realized I just made a boo-boo there. So even I already lost their platoon as well. So technically, we probably could have ended this in turn 4 or 5. But I wanted to give you maximum viewing pleasure because this might be the last game I get to film or record for this for a while. So I definitely wanted to drag this out completely. And I'm glad I did, because it was fun just to see this play out in how it could have went. But, you know, hindsight now is those support groups and the platoons themselves probably have whittled away a lot earlier than what we played it out to. I just played this out to maximum carnage, that's all. And that's where we're left with, is the lieutenant, and we got a Jeep. But to be fair, I did fully eliminate the platoon of the German player, and the platoon leader here is still alive. So if I flip this platoon, yeah, he would have lost his, yeah, that would have been the end of him. So yeah, you could almost say it was a draw, because both of these platoons have been eliminated, and they both have a unit still at the objective point. So I might have to play this again. I might have to play this scenario one more time and remember to eliminate stuff. You don't have to eliminate everything in the group. You just have to eliminate like 2 or 1, because there's little squares that tell you when it's eliminated. So we probably just played this entire scenario wrong. Hey, you know what? That's fine, because this was still fun to try and play out to the end just to see what we could do. But anyway, that is scenario number 2. Thanks for tuning in. And like I said, if you want, I could play this one more time. And keep in mind when a group or platoon is properly wiped out versus playing this all the way to the end. Otherwise, like I said, it might be a while before I get back to this one. But I really appreciate you all tuning in and watching this and seeing how this plays out. Thanks a lot. We'll see you later. Bye.